So yes, there's an uphill battle for them to climb, but the Colts could lose today. The Colts and the Jags are going to lose today. They go to 8-5. A couple of losses and a couple of wins by the Dolphins, and they are still in it. So they're playing for something. The underwhelming matchup on record. Probably the worst matchup we have this week. But intrigue, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, battling it out. Two guys who we thought were going to be the first two quarterbacks off the board. It ended up not being that way. Shedeur Sanders falling to the third day. Cam Ward going number one. Cam Ward has had a tough time of it. He's shown a lot of glimpses, but there's been a lot more bad than good for the first year number one overall pick. And for Shedeur Sanders, won his first start, lost his second start, so he looks to get back in the win column this week. Vikings, Commanders, J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, both active today. The second-year quarterbacks, the top 10 picks, going at it. So that is a little bit of intrigue there. The Bucs trying to keep above the Panthers, 7-5. Panthers on bye. The Bucs are 7-5. A loss for the Bucs would put them in a situation where they are now tied with the Panthers for that division lead. In the late window, and we will have those games as always. We'll bring you all the action, everything, news, fantasy, gambling, injury, scoring, defense, all of it right here on Gridiron Game Day. And if you're watching on the YouTube page or on the BetMGM Network, what is going on? And we are about to get underway as these games are kicking off. And the Bengals are marching out into the field in the snow in Buffalo, Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park. It's freezing. Joe Burrow, last 8 starts, 8-0. But too bad he's been hurt. And again, we're sitting here saying, don't let the Bengals in. They're also right there. After the Dolphins, the Bengals are right behind them. There is, put it in perspective, the Dolphins, even with the winner, 1% chance to make the playoffs. The only reason why the Bengals are at 7% with the win is because their division is awful. Let's go out to Tampa Bay and get our first update as these games kick off and the Saints take over with the ball. Tom Aikens has more from Raymond James Stadium.
And indeed, this ball game underway. Tampa Bay won the toss. They elected to defer their choice in the second half, but with the Saints on offense to start with, we'll see whether that turns out to be a wise decision or not for the Buccaneers, because the kickoff was returned all the way to the Tampa Bay 45-yard line. Then the Saints in business. They'll try to do a long pass, see if they can capitalize twice. That didn't work, but now the Saints on offense, early in the ball game against the Buccaneers, Tyler Shuck, quarterback for the Saints, 14 and a half minutes to play in the first quarter. Saints and Buccaneers, no score.
Thank you so much, Tom. Also worth noting before we get back to action, Giants on bye this week. There is still a QB competition going on for the Giants. Russell Wilson in the studio with CBS. Jameis Winston in the studio with Fox. So as they both lost their jobs to Jackson Dart, they're now trying to find their next careers going on there. Ravens have the ball right now. Jets trying to hold the Dolphins to a 3-and-out. It's now second down for them as I don't know what that was, a reverse to the outside. It's going to be a big game for the Dolphins as they're going to get well into Jets territory. First down for the Ravens as Lamar Jackson, I think that might have been Derrick Henry, kept the ball himself. T. Higgins with a catch here in Buffalo. His last 6 games, 22 catches, 355 yards, 5 touchdowns. So we are underway in all of these. Let's go out to Minnesota and get an update. McCarthy, Daniels battling it out back from injury. Eric Nelson's got more from Minnesota.
Yeah, barring a tie, one of these teams is going to have the losing streak here today. Washington's dropped 7 in a row. Minnesota 4 straight. The Vikings moving the ball. Efficiently on the opening drive of the football game, J.J. McCarthy is 2 for 2, and he's relying on his tight end so far. He just completed a throw to T.J. Hawkinson for a first down, and that'll go down to the Commanders' 33-yard line. He also has a first down pass to Ben Sims, another tight end for Minnesota. So Washington comes in at 3-9, but the defense has been rather soft under Dan Quinn, who is known as a defensive guru, if you will. Meanwhile, Minnesota's offense is non-existent. Their head coach, Kevin O'Connell, is supposed to be an offensive guy. So we'll see what happens today as the Vikings get yet another first down on a reverse to Jalen Naylor. So the Minnesota Vikings, who have not scored a touchdown in their last 2 games, think about that. They have 6 points in Green Bay, and they were blanked a week ago by the Seattle Seahawks. So they're desperate to get a touchdown right now. It's 2nd and 1 for the Vikings at the Washington 22, 11:58 to go. In the first quarter, we are scoreless. Commanders and Vikings are in Minneapolis.
Thank you so much, Eric. A big third down for Jacksonville just took place. Let's get more on that from Brian Scheibel.
The dark clouds here in Jacksonville, some rain expected throughout much of the game. Jaguars trying to win their 11th straight run at home against the Indianapolis Colts and also break that tie at the top of the AFC South between these two teams. Trevor Lawrence without one of his big weapon players in Parker Washington, but Jacoby Myers has been clutch for Jags since he's been acquired 4 weeks ago. Last week, 90 yards receiving, first play of the game. Lawrence to Myers for an 11-yard reception, and they're nearly connected again on the sideline route, but Myers couldn't quite get 2 feet down on that one. After coming up short, the did punt it back to the Colts. So 13:04 to go in the first quarter. Colts taking over on their own 21-yard line in their score.
Thank you so much, Brian. We got a couple of scores going on. Jets, Dolphins, Jalen Waddle touchdown early, and we got a score in the Saints game once that's confirmed. First, let's go out to Cleveland. Browns, Titans, John Bazika's got more for us.
Yeah, 2nd down, and called it 7 or about 8 coming up for the Titans of the Browns. Gosh, where are we at here? The 14-yard line for 2nd down and about 7. It would take coming up, and Cam Moore back throw. The Titans have moved the ball well, and half here for a touchdown. Wow, middle of the field. Caught on the left side numbers and going in for a touchdown.
Do a good job. Keep doing a good job.
Keep
doing a good job.
Ayo Manor, the one who made the catch.
Keep doing a wonderful job.
And 14-yard Titans are on the board. They go right down the field on that drive. They got good field position on the kickoff as well, because they had a great return. That's been a point of emphasis for the Browns this week, Anthony. The kick coverage team has not been great. Special teams have been a blunder for the Browns all year. And Titans and Cam Moore go right down the field. He was a perfect 4 for 4 on that drive for a touchdown to Ayo Manor. And wow, Titans leading 7-0, 9:52 first quarter here. And we'll see if the Browns offense can respond.
Thank you so much, John. I had a feeling it's an early notion where, I kind of like that over in the Titans game, so we'll see what happens there. Let's go out. Like I said, Saints land the first blow against the Bucs. Tom Aikens has more for us.
Well, to quote that famous football broadcaster, it's just you can't count on anything at this point. But Mason tipped it, returned the kickoff to the Tampa Bay 45-yard line for the New Orleans Saints. A couple of plays later, 3 yards into the end zone, a run by Devin Neal. The Saints certainly showed their skill early on in this one. In case Bucs fans thought this one was going to be a walk in the park, with New Orleans coming in at just 2-10 for their season record. They have had a very rude and a very early comeuppance at this point. The Saints losing no time to take command of this ball game. 12:24 left in the first quarter. Saints 7, Buccaneers nothing.
Thank you so much, Tom, as we'll continue to monitor that one. Shocking start in that one, I would say, as, Baker Mayfield and Co. are going to have to get after it. They are healthy. Mike Evans hopefully back next week. Or I don't know if they're on bye next week. It might be the week after that he'd be eligible to come back in that one. Jags get the ball back after that punt. They are now right outside. They're about to be in the red zone now, so it'll be second and about 8 as they're in the red zone. Buffalo and the Bengals battling it out. It is coming down. It is football weather. It is peak football weather in Buffalo. Let's go out to Paul Hamilton on more of the Bengals and the Bills.
Yeah, we got some snow here, 31 degrees. Maybe another hour of snow predicted here, but the Bengals have put together quite a drive here. Right now they have a 3rd and 1 as they have the ball on the Buffalo 9-yard line. They just keep picking up 3rd down, 3rd and 5, 10-yard pass to T. Higgins. Higgins for 12 to the Bills 40. You know, after Shaq Thompson blows up the screen to Chase Brown, 3rd and 6, they just flip it to P-Rod. He bowls his way for 7 yards. First down. Sebas, 11 yards on the